time for the Trucker John live stream. Gonna be a good time. Oh yeah. The Trucker John live stream. Come along for a good time. It's a good time, good time, good time, good time. Trucker John live stream. Be a good time, gonna be the time of your life. Gonna talk some shit, hush your mouth. Gonna talk a little smack. Gonna talk whatever comes of it. You're gonna always wanna come back. Well yeah, it's the Trucker John live stream. He's the biggest, baddest, funniest mother you've ever seen. Watch your mouth, he's headed south. Not even sure what that means, but if it's one thing I know, the Trucker John live stream is the best thing you've ever seen. Shots of the Trucker John live stream, on a good time. Oh yeah, the Trucker John live stream. Come along for a good time. It's a good time, good time, good time. The Trucker John live stream is gonna be a good time. Gonna be the time of your life. Gonna talk some shit, hush your mouth. Gonna talk a little smack. Gonna talk whatever comes of it. You're gonna always wanna come back. Oh yeah, it's the Trucker John live stream. He's the biggest, baddest, funniest mother you've ever seen. Watch your mouth, he's headed south. Not even sure what that means, but if it's one thing I know, the Trucker John live stream is the best thing.
It's time for the Trucker John live stream. Gonna be a good time. Oh yeah, the Trucker John live stream. Come along for a good time. It's a good time, good time, good time. Trucker John live stream. It's gonna be a good time. Gonna be the time of your life. Gonna talk some shit, hush your mouth. Gonna talk a little smack. Gonna talk whatever comes of it. You're gonna always wanna come back. Oh yeah, it's the Trucker John live stream. He's the biggest, baddest, funniest mother you've ever seen. Watch your mouth, he's headed south. Not even sure what that means, but if it's one thing I know, the Trucker John live stream is the best thing you've ever seen. It's time for the Trucker John live stream. Gonna be a good time. Oh yeah, the Trucker John live stream. Come along for a good time. It's a good time, good time, good time. Trucker John live stream. It's gonna be a good time. Gonna be the time of your life. Gonna talk some shit, hush your mouth. Gonna talk a little smack. Gonna talk whatever comes of it. You're gonna always wanna come back. Oh yeah, it's the Trucker John live stream. He's the biggest, baddest, funniest mother you've ever seen. Watch him out, he's heading south. Not even sure what that means, but if it's one thing I know, the Trucker John live stream is the best thing you've ever seen.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, the moment you've been waiting for. Trucker John. All right, mic is on. The mic is on. Morning, everybody. Let me get some more coffee. I'm just trying to finish up my breakfast. But here it is, 9:10 a.m. Pacific time. That's not too bad of a start, I guess. Too late. Let me move this in a little bit. Let's see, how's that look? I don't know. But it's 9:11 now. Ooh, 9:11. And it is 89 degrees. So we're still in the 80s. I think it's supposed to be a little bit cooler today. I think yesterday we hit 110. I think it's saying we're only going to be 104 today, so that's not too bad. It's not too bad. Let's see. I had something lined up here. Oh, you know what? I don't think I saved it onto here. Let's see. I was going to start off with a video, but I'm not sure if I did or not. Oh yeah, here's this one here. Maybe we could watch this.
The RNC, along with its many right-wing influencers, posted a 12-second clip showing President Biden standing next to French President Emmanuel Macron, appearing to reach down with his hand, bend his knees, and then freeze. The clip abruptly ends with Biden in an awkward position. Some who posted it suggest the president was sitting in an invisible chair. But the full video shows Biden ultimately sat down after the edited clip ends. He paused briefly while he was crouched, waiting for Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin's name to be called before sitting, out of respect. The wide shot of the stage shows other people also appearing to do the same. In another edited video, President Biden appears to be pulled away by First Lady Jill Biden as one of the D-Day events still is taking place. The camera then pans over to President Macron as he is greeting veterans. Right-wing accounts claim the president was, quote, pulled away from the event. The full video, though, shows the event had concluded with a service member directing the president and First Lady toward the exit. As the Bidens leave, the president salutes, greets, even stops to chat with a number of veterans before finally leaving. A third edited video circulated by right-wing accounts shows a 6-second clip that appears to show President Biden with his eyes closed, a claim he was sleeping. However, the full video reveals the president momentarily closing his eyes during a translated portion of the speech. He opened his eyes shortly after the edited video ends. So why do we go through all this, Joe? Why do we show you the Washington Post? That is their work walking through that. Yeah. Because that is what's happening out there. And that is a message and a narrative that's taking hold many times based on lies and edited video.
All right, so why did I show that? Why did I just show that whole video? Partially because I wanted to finish eating my breakfast, but also because, to tell you the reason why the right wing is doing this so much is because of things like this. It's because of things like this, and it's because of things like this. Okay? They don't want you to see this. It's an old magician's trick, right? Oh, let me shut this off. It's an old magician's trick. Misdirection. Look over here. Don't look over here. So don't be fooled. I know most of the people in this chat aren't. But the folks I saw at the Trump rally, they are. And they lap up every single little word that Trump says or MTG says. They are just lapping it up. Anyhow, I'm remiss. I didn't say good morning. So good morning. We got Roxanne Armfield first in the chat. Good morning. Other greeter, Teresa's here. Good to see Teresa. We got Jackie. Good morning, Jackie. We got, let's see. Who else we got? William's here. Hey, William. Good to see William in the chat, in the driver's lounge, as I like to call it. AC just shut off. Hopefully that's better. I didn't even realize. I usually shut that thing off when I'm doing the that opening deal, and I forgot. Hey, Jolie's here. Good to see Jolie. Thanks for being here, Jolie. Fancy's here. Did I already say Fancy? Yeah, Fancy's here. Never fear. Carrie C. Good to see Carrie C. MJ Daniels in the driver's lounge today. 56 Nick Rich. Good to see you, Nick. Thanks for being here. We'll have some filters later at some point, so stay tuned for that. Hey, Gino Maynard is in the driver's lounge today. Make sure you go get some coffee over there in the corner. We got coffee and no donuts though. It's all BYO drink, BYOD. But you got to bring your own drink and your own donuts. Yeah, that fits for that too. For donuts. Let's see. Who else is here? We got Jimbo. Good morning, Jimbo. Good to see Jimbo. Welcome to the driver's lounge. Mish is here. Hey, good to see Mish. Mish is at work, having an emotional saying bye to the kiddos. Emotionally saying bye to them. But I wanted to drop off hugs to anyone who might want or need one. Have an amazing day, peeps. Well, thank you so much, Mish, for dropping by. You might already be gone, but because I'm a little behind in the chat here. Big Hook is here, the big Canuck from up north. Robert Perez, good morning, Robert. Robert is checking things out over here. You guys make sure you hit the like, subscribe, and share. William and Jimbo. Alvin Stubbs is in the driver's lounge. Thanks for stopping by, Alvin. Good to see Alvin here. And Chris Welch is here. Trump is just a Trump supporter, and Trump is just a Trump supporter, and vice versa. Andrew Petrie is here. He says, I'm here. Good to see you, Andrew. Thanks for stopping by. We'll be hanging out this morning on this beautiful morning. Chris Welch. Okay, I'm just looking at folks have already said their names, so. Yeah, I guess I got everybody. All right, so 24 watching, 26 thumbs up. So let's keep sharing the show. Let's get it going here. We're at 1,858 subscribers or something like that. We're growing and growing and growing. It seems like just yesterday we were at 1,700 and something. So let's keep it going. See if we can get to 1,900. So anyhow, we have a great economy. But the right-wing media doesn't want anyone to know that. The mainstream media doesn't seem to emphasize it. The right-wing media, they, whether it's social media, whether it's, Fox News, whether it's whatever it is, they're going to do things, everything they can to just say, Sleepy Joe, he's Sleepy Joe, he can't sit down. All this stuff. I'm like licking my cup here because there's a little spillage. Taken away from the fact that this is a great economy. Now, when I was speaking to the folks at the Trump rally, they seem to think that this is not such a great economy for some reason. And one guy said, "Hey, why are things still just as expensive or more expensive than they were 4 years ago?" And excuse my eating. I know this is not very professional, but I'm not really a professional. So. But and the first thing that came out of my mouth was greedflation, and it actually got like a laugh from people. because I was surrounded by this group of like 30 maggots probably. And when I said greedflation, they thought that was funny. And I was like, yeah, it's greedflation. I go, Biden's not responsible for that. Okay, this is the corporations that are jacking prices up. So blame them. If you're still paying more now for stuff, blame the corporations and the companies. Don't blame Biden. And there was just all these comments, I don't know. They just are so woefully uninformed, and they're still bringing up stuff that I kind of just forget about. They're still acting like this is 2019 or 2020. The way they talk, the way they, I'll be done. I'll be done eating in a second here, but because the one lady that was next to me, the one who was flipping me off, she goes, what about the $85 billion or whatever it was of equipment that he left in Afghanistan, and just let the Taliban or whatever get all that equipment? And I go, and it's like, he did not leave $85 billion. That was over a 20-year period. And the stuff that they did leave, they blew it up. And then she's like, oh, I don't know, she would not believe it. But still, this is stuff from, a few years ago. The right-wing media does not want them to be caught up to today. That we've had low unemployment, wages are growing faster, they're outpacing inflation. We have, throughout this whole Biden economic time here, our inflation has been way lower than any of the other countries around the world, and we're the lowest right now. We're getting lower and lower, our inflation. They don't want you to know that. Our GDP is the best in the world. We have the #1 economy in the world, and they don't want you to know that. So they keep talking about the border. This sort of manufactured crisis, the border. And yes, is there a problem? Is there things we need to do? Yes. Because they brought the border up. So I go, well, pass the border bill then. And they're just like, that's crap or whatever. And I go, it was bipartisan. It was a Republican wish list of things. But Trump, and Trump was speaking at the time, and I pointed at Trump. I go, but your beautiful, your wonderful leader there, he didn't want it voted on. But it's right there. They just don't want to hear the truth. They want to be stuck on these talking points about the border and about Afghanistan, the what they say is a botched, departure from Afghanistan. And to which I told the lady, I go, Trump didn't even have balls enough to do it. Why didn't he get us out? He didn't have. And she's just like, oh, shut up, Biden. That's what she started going off on. Biden makes it where I don't know where my loved ones are or something like that. And I go, I just say, hey, Trump was too chicken shit to get out of Afghanistan, so he left it to Biden. So they're just stuck on these things, the border and Afghanistan for some reason, and inflation. They don't believe any of the economic reports, the jobs reports, all the jobs that have been created under Biden. I mean, this 15.6 million, that's kind of an old meme now. I'm sure it's even more by now, because we have this other money. I've posted this before, this graph here. And, you can see that the jobs created under Biden is almost twice as much as Clinton. Clinton got a lot of credit for creating jobs. And, and you can see Obama there, the difference between him and Bush was huge. And then you see Trump comes along and we actually go into the negative. I mean, we were losing jobs under Bush, under those especially those last 3 years. We were just hemorrhaging jobs under W. And then you can see Trump took it to a whole new low, where we were in the negative like for the whole time. Because all that Trump did, all he accomplished was he got tax breaks for the uber wealthy, uber rich, and he stripped away as many environmental and industrial regulations as he could. That's really all he did. And then, of course, sell classified documents to the Russians and the Saudis, and which was filtered down to Iran, probably. The real Bill P's here. Hey, thanks for being here, Real Bill P. Our entire town has been rebuilt. That sounds cool. Big Hook says the answer is for us to win the election and institute a windfall tax and force the corporations to pay fair or pay more. Absolutely. Real Bill P says, hey, Trucker John, question, sharks or batteries? Yeah, that's the question of the day. That's where he was. That was his big thing. Not about, some sort of economic policy or whatever. No, it's like sharks. Would you rather be eaten by a shark or electrocuted by batteries, I guess? Chris Welch says, you were literally casting pearls before swine at that fascist hate rally. I agree. Keith Polite says, work on expanding I-70 through Missouri started today in Columbia. That dark Brandon. Yeah, all of these works projects that are going on, the Inflation Reduction Act has got so many projects going. That Chips and Science Act, where we get these semiconductors, there's chip factories going. We're going to be the #1 chip producing country in the world. We're going to surpass, I guess, China or Taiwan or whoever. I mean, it just goes on and on and on and on. All of the great things going on by, let's see here. I think it's this guy, this way. By this guy here, this guy. And the right-wing media, they want to just do doctored clips and things out of context. And quite frankly, the mainstream media, they want to have a horse race. And so they just seem to be downplaying it, all the great stuff. Fancy says, I haven't been up that way in a while. It's good to know. I guess about Missouri or whatever. Big Hook says, Bill, it's a win-win question. If we get to be rid of Trump, both would be my preference. About the shark and the battery. Chris Welch, every time a Republican gets in office, America's credit rating drops. We, for forever, we had like the highest grade A, credit rating or whatever. And then under W, I think that might have been the first time that we had it lowered, right? And then under Trump, I think too. So, yeah. They make the messes and we clean them up. And then they get back in office. That's the thing we got to stop doing. We got to get just voting cycle after voting cycle after voting cycle of Democrats in there and stop electing Republicans. And they make it so hard with all of their voter obstruction that they do. But we've got to overcome it. The Real Bill P says, it's a sunny day here in the land of Washington and Jefferson. Virginia is for lovers. Sunny days. Alvin Stube, Trump said COVID was no big deal. He completely downplayed it. That Bob Woodward tape of him talking about that should be on an endless loop where we just broadcast it somewhere. 56 Dick Rich says 10 minutes of skipping. Whatever that means. That could be a good form of exercise, I guess. Go skipping for 10 minutes. I don't know. Nick Rich, love you, John. Don't change. Oh, okay. Thank you, Nick. Andrew Petrie, sharks are very sensitive to batteries. It would swim away. Trump's an idiot. If it don't have something, blood coming out of it, they don't get attracted to it. If you can make a bleeding battery, maybe. You don't like my music is here. Good to see you don't like my music. Look at the poverty rate over the last 20 years. And we have things. The Democrats put things in like the was it the child health care, the CHIPS thing, or whatever, or they did the tax credit, child tax credit. One of those things, or maybe the combination of those things, lifted people out of poverty and cut poverty in half. Was it just for kids? I forget now the exact statistic, but it lifted either kids or maybe just people in general out of poverty. Cut it by 50%. And then when the Republicans, I guess they let it lapse or they didn't renew it, and then those poverty levels went right back down again, or up again, however you word it. So yeah, and through the this Biden economy, Bidenomics, big Biden boom, whatever you want to call it, the wage gap has been cut by a third. Big hook, sharks with laser beams. All I asked for. I want sharks with laser beams on their head. Is it really that difficult? Yeah. It's all I asked for. Let's see, we got William. Stephanie B2's here. Good to see Stephanie B2. Thanks for joining us here in the driver's lounge. You don't like my music, says the poverty rate steadily declines under Obama until Trump. 56 Nick Rich, according to von Schützenpants, magnets don't work under water. Yeah, they just don't work. 72, we are. Bill, thanks. Oh, okay. Oh, about being careful, I guess. Tim Farrell says, it's the battery-operated sharks that scare me, and Sasquatch. Hey, Tim Farrell, good to see you. Thanks for joining us here in the Truckers Lounge. Andrew Petrie says that Big Hook, freaking sharks with laser beams. Keep looking forward to the State of the Union, Biden to show up at the upcoming debates with Trump. And that's another thing. Do you think Trump will even show up? I think he wants to. I think his people don't want him to. And they will try to come up with some way to get him out of it. But I think Trump is so stupid and so delusional and so self-unaware. I think he really does want to debate Joe because he thinks that he can win. He thinks that he can shine. But I don't think his people feel the same, his handlers or whatever. The thing is that his handlers, they really can't handle him. If he wants to do it, he's going to do it. So we'll see if it actually takes place or not. And if it does, I think that Joe Biden will mop the floor with Trump's comb over or whatever, whatever's left of it. Real Bill P, I had surgery on both hands last week. Wiping my butt has been an adventure. Yeehaw. A bit of TMI there, but I hope that you get a speedy recovery. Let's just put it that way. To Real Bill P. You don't like my music, says Jaws is my favorite movie of all time. Wow. Well, there you go. So you probably know all the little movie quotes from it. William says Trump will not show. Yeah, I don't see how, like I say, his people or whatever around him would allow it, or I think Trump is delusional enough to think that he, would do very well, but they're probably going to try to get him out of it somehow. Real Bill P says no, he won't. Nick Rich says I don't think his handlers will drug him so that he can't show up. Karma. Yeah, Stephanie B2 says TMI Bill, and then Jolie says, I hope your butt wiping gets easier soon. Got to get one of those bidet things. They sell these little attachable bidets at Walmart. I know we hate Walmart. But there's probably other stores you can get them at for a very reasonable price. Just saying. Let's see. Jimbo says Trump won't show up. He has nothing but lies, laughing out loud. Well, we'll see. We'll see, because I really do think that he thinks that he, would just smoke Joe. But, well, we'll see. Pastor Bodaster's here. Good to see the good old the good pastor who's not really a pastor, but bidets are a lifesaver. You don't like my music? Says, I think Trump comes up with ideas and policies based on the last movie he saw. I think so too. Because even going back, because like lately he's been talking about Hannibal Lecter with the Silence of the Lamb. Has anyone seen Silence of the Lamb? I haven't. I've seen Silence of the Lambs, but I've never seen Silence of the Lamb. It almost sounds like a Jesus movie or something. But he talks about that. He talks about he's always referencing Al Capone. I think he just bases his knowledge of Al Capone, of Alphonse Capone, on the Untouchables. But remember way back in, I forget if he had already won, if it was during the campaign for 2016, when he was quoting like, now I can't remember the name of the movie. It was a great movie. I remember the first one was great, and then they made the sequel. I guess I saw the sequel. That one movie. Oh God, what was it? It was like a Spanish name for something. Guys, help me out. It had Benicio del Toro and the female lead was who was that hot girl? God, you guys got to help me. But he kept referring to that when he was talking about the border and stuff. It was something like Scirocco or something. What was the name of that movie, guys? I know that one of you guys will come up with it. So this is what he does. Yeah, he watches a movie, and I think he thinks it's like a documentary or something. I don't know. But Penelope Cruz, no, Penelope Cruz was in. I remember she was in that movie with Brad Pitt and oh God, why am I forgetting names? The blonde, the pretty blonde, and where they put the thing around people's necks and it would like make them explode or whatever. But I'm not talking about that movie. There's another movie, Siriano. Yes, I think that's it. Tim Farrell. And then they made a sequel, right, or whatever. And I think he was mainly talking about that movie because he was talking about the tunnels, and he was talking about how they go with they bring these teams in. He was basically describing the scene, like one of those border crossing scenes when they had the guys, like I guess they were like ICE or whatever they were, and they had a big shootout. But I like Gandolfini. I was sad to hear of his passing. I think we're like the same exact age. So when someone dies, just drops dead, because I think I was still in my 50s when Gandolfini died. I think we're the same age, and he just kills over a heart attack, and so I'm like, ugh. It's kind of scary. William, she was in Blow a Jar. Yeah. Penelope Cruz has been in a lot of movies, yeah. But anyhow, that's not the one I was thinking of. Vanilla Sky. Yeah, that's not the one I was thinking of, but anyhow. Real WP, I live in the Matrix. Nick Rich. Oh, am I buffering? I didn't see any buffering on my end. Maybe that's on your end, Nick. I don't know. But yeah, that's what Trump does. He watches the movie and then he just thinks that it's the gospel truth or whatever, and he just recites because that's all he does, I guess, is watch movies and play golf, and then try to, and then rip people off, and then just tries to bullshit his way into another presidency, just so that he can stay out of prison, basically. Nick says, I'll refresh. Be right back. Yeah, as far as I know, I haven't seen any issues on my end here. You don't like my music? I would love to hear Trump do movie reviews where he summarizes the plot as he saw it. The Real Bill P, internet outages reported all over the place. I just got notification. I know yesterday I was having some internet issues. Or not yesterday, it was actually Tuesday, right before the show. And I wasn't sure if we were going to have a show because there were all kinds of outages going on. But they got it back going, and we were able to get up and running here without a hitch, supposedly. William says Trump takes pleasure in the suffering of other people. Yeah, he is a sad, sadistic son of a bitch. I don't know how else to put it. He is a sociopath, basically. Nick Rich, must be the lack of AI on my end. Andrew Petrie says, is the sun acting up again? Are we having some solar flares? I don't know. I do not know. But I do know it's been hot here. We've been running about 10 degrees above average for many, many days of this month so far. Now today it might be a little more closer to average. I think our high is supposed to be, according to my watch, I believe 104, which is probably a little closer to average. I think we average around 99 to 100 this time of year. And so we're a little bit above average today. But the last few days we've been going 109, 110, 111. That's a good 10 degrees above average. 72, we've had some serious solar flares. Roxanne Armfield says Trump is a ghoul. And so is Rudy Giuliani. Nick Rich, maybe some filters would help. Fancy says, we are still having June gloom here in LA. Well, that's good. I always love that. I always love June gloom in California because I was always like, yep, this is at least staving off the heat because the heat's going to come eventually. Because we would get June gloom even out in Palmdale, Lancaster. And that would help keep the heat down. So, the Real Bill P says storms in northern states are causing the outages. Okay, well, you damn northern states, please stop. Stephanie B2 says serious solar flare was why we had the Aurora Borealis here in California. Oh, wow. I never did get to see any of that stuff, except for some videos. Real Bill P, Rudy comes through dripping. Yeah, and his hair dye is all over his face. You don't like my music, says no wildfires is all I ask for now. Oh, there were some big fires going on, wasn't there, in California just recently? Sorry about that little tongue jut. Yeah, as long as we can stave most of that off. But I think there was some fires going on. I think wasn't Canada having some more fires already? The Real Bill P says maybe Bannon can get his twin brother removed from his temple while incarcerated. Philly 3000 says the Supreme Court just dismissed the abortion pill bans for now. Oh, is that breaking news? We got breaking news here. So when you say for now, so are they just kicking the can down the road? Hey, is real Mr. Spock here? Did I? Oh, there's Mr. Spock. Howdy, everyone. Well, hello there. Live long and prosper, everybody. I'm trying to. One of these days, I'm going to be able to get this thing to work right. But right now, this is the best I can do. There we go. It's almost like live long and prosper. I'm doing it. Look, I'm doing it. Let's see. Roxanne says, I feel sorry for the people in Florida with all the flooding going on, and DeSantis will do nothing because he's incompetent. And I don't know if it's about being incompetent. It's just about being an asshole. And it's about not caring, not really giving a shit, and still having apparently a voting base to vote for him. So go figure that. Again, that comes to right-wing. How many Floridians, whatever problems they're having with getting homeowners insurance, even blame DeSantis for the problem? They probably blame Democrats or something. Even though the Democrats would love to have some sort of policy or in place that would protect homeowners. But right now they can't even get, from what I hear, they can't even get homeowners insurance because of all these crazy hurricanes and everything. And there's got to be a way to get some sort of, if the private insurance companies aren't going to insure homes down there, there's got to be some way that the government can have a government-sponsored homeowners insurance. Big Hook says, Vegas is the human air fryer in real life. The casinos are all the fridge, lambs to slaughter somewhere. Hannibal Lecter will fit in here. It is hot. I'll say that much. Philly 3000 says the people didn't have good standings. So that means somebody else can do it later on if Republicans ever take over. Big Hook, do you see CSI Vegas ever filming? I do not. You don't like my music? Right-wing media creates an alternative reality where bigots are shielded from the facts. Yep. It's kind of what I've been saying. This whole theme of the show, kind of. Nick Rich says Baltimore Port is open 11 weeks. Wow. See, they can go fast when they have to. Remember the bridge that was on the interstate, 90 or up there. It seems like they just replaced that over a weekend or something. But it wasn't that fast. But it was like a couple weeks. And we have a big project they've been doing on I-15 over here in Las Vegas that they've literally been working on for like at least 3 years, maybe longer. So which I don't understand. They can do these other things in 2 or 3 weeks or whatever, and a few weeks. This project here in Vegas is a 3-year goddamn project, and it's just a nightmare. The way they've been blocking lanes on the freeway and everything. And blocking lanes on Tropicana Avenue. My point is, they can work fast when they want to, or they can drag out projects and milk them when they want to. I guess when the spotlight's not on them, Like these other things, the Baltimore Harbor and the overpass in wherever that was, Ohio or wherever it was, those are like really in the spotlight. So they boom, 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 they get those done. But this project over here in Vegas, it's just a project. It wasn't some sort of big disaster. They just started doing this lane changing, putting in overpass, off ramps and on ramps and stuff. It was just sort of a project that they had scheduled and did, and they so there's no spotlight on it, and it's been literally 3 years, at least, maybe longer. I just feel like I need to adjust this a little bit, but now I think I adjusted it too much. I don't know. You can see my shirt a little bit better. This is my vintage 1960 shirt. I got this for my 60th birthday when I turned 60, which was 3 years ago now. Over 3 years ago. Andrew Petrie, have you been where they filmed Palm Stars? I have been there. I was there in 2012. So 12 years ago, I went in there, actually went inside. And that's the only time I've ever been inside. There weren't any of the stars there. All they had was this one of the big black bodyguard guy, I think was there. But that was it. And I've never seen them film there. I don't know if they even still film the show. I'm not even sure if the show is still on the air. But I've never seen any filming going on or anything like that. 56 Dick Ridge, infrastructure matters. William, as a convicted felon, I don't think Trump is allowed in casinos. I'm not sure about that one. Big Hook, the truck fire that collapsed it was fixed in 11 days. Democrats in action. Shapiro is very competent governor. Roxanne Armfield says, you don't like my music. This is Roxanne speaking to another chatter in here. For those of you who may be just watching this and later and you don't know what's going on, there's a chatter who goes by the name of You Don't Like My Music. So and this is Roxanne speaking to that other poster, I guess we call it. Says, we need more railroads built throughout the country like there used to be. Like there used to be. I don't know. I don't know why I did that. Andrew Petrie says, I think so fancy, not sure. About closing down a freeway or something. I don't know. The Real P. I went to Pawn Star's shite hole once. It sucked. It is what it is. It's an old pawn shop, you know. Dick Rich, it looks fine. Well, now I feel like it's too much, like I pointed it too down, too much. I need to just go back a little bit, maybe? I don't know. How's that? Oh, now I feel like it's too far up. It's a really fine line here. Maybe that's good, like that. You don't see my shirt as much, though. I love showing off my shirts. But anyhow, and I'm about ready. I forgot to bring, I usually bring a bottle of water with me to have it here next to me, and I forgot to do that. So I think I'm going to go get me some water because I'm getting very, very dry mouth. But let me see. Keith Police says, convicted criminal Trump is conducting a loyalty test today on Capitol Hill. It's the first time he's been there since inciting the January 6th attack. Wow, Trump is at Capitol Hill. As a convicted felon, I don't think he should be there either. Mr. Spock, I was doing something outside, came in for water. Speaking of water, I'm going to go get me some water. The Real Bill P says at Roxanne, there is no such thing as bad music unless Laura Trump is singing. You don't like my music. You don't like my music. At Roxanne Armfield, I agree. Rail has come a long way since the 19th century when most of the country's track was laid. Well, we are getting a high-speed rail from Southern California, from the Inland Empire area, Rancho Cucamonga, basically, or exactly. They're going to start, that's where it's going to start, and it's going to go to Las Vegas. They've got another rail, I think it's a high-speed rail, that they're going from LA, going up through the Central Valley of California, San Joaquin Valley, and then I think it's jutting over to San Francisco, to the Bay Area. They're making big progress on that. Now, that has faced a lot of criticism because of the money involved. A lot of that is private partnership, private-public partnership. I left out the public part. And so there's a lot of federal money going into that. Many billions of dollars. There's some private money going into it. The high-speed rail from California to Vegas, I think that's another private-public partnership. There's somebody here. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but I've heard this quite often. There's somebody out here who thinks they're a singer or something, and they stand outside their door and they do this kind of wailing, sort of like a cat in distress or something. And it's kind of weird and annoying. But anyhow, that's what I'm hearing. I can hear it. I don't know if you guys can hear that. But okay, guys, I need to go get some water. So I will leave you to yourselves. There's Tim Nelson. Good morning, Tim Nelson. So now we have both the Tims here. Tim Farrell and Tim Nelson are here. So I feel as though, we are complete. Josh Cryer is here. I'm in Vegas and I'm excited for that rail. Hey, Josh. Good to see Josh Cryer. Thanks for being here. I'm not sure if I've seen Josh Cryer or not before. So make sure you hit the like, subscribe, and share button for me, if you would. Let's share the show and make it grow. Pastor Bordasser says it's been on hold here in Bakersfield, but they're said to be building a trans station by 2026. Yeah, and I was just watching a video where they're putting that in right in I think Edison, right there by Bakersfield. The Real Bit P says, Josh Cryer, this is not live. This is Matrix, an alternate reality, the Twilight Zone. It's a Timex or something. I don't know. Pastor Bordasser, but nobody wants it here in Bakersfield. Yodeling? I don't know what that is. It's not yodeling. Whatever it is, it's like I said, a cat in distress or something. You don't like my music, says high-speed rail should crisscross the whole country. Yeah, that would be nice to have a like East Coast, West Coast train. That would be nice. Steven Sayers, still morning. Good morning. It is here in the Pacific time zone. It's 9:57 here in the Pacific time zone. The real deal P says, Josh Cryer, I am kidding. Trucker John has color in his cheeks today. He's in love. I'm in love with the girl that's singing that song. No, I'm not actually. I wish she would shut up. Big Hick, but look at China's high-speed rail. The quality is shit, and their safety record is awful. Same problem with Chinese electric cars. Terry Taylor's here. Hey, good to see Terry. Hello, TJ and Chatters. Hello, back at you. Thanks for dropping into the driver's lounge. And Josh Cryer, I'm so happy to meet Trucker John after his MAGA response. Legend. Well, thank you so much, Josh, for being here, and good to see you. And I guess you saw the rally footage, and so good to have you over here, Mr. Spock. High speed rail. What do we want? A monorail? That would be nice. Okay, I'm going to let I'm going to let you guys enjoy the sideshow that's going on. You guys let me know what you think of the entertainment. I just need to go grab a quick bottle of water. I'm trying to get out of here without knocking anything over. That's always the challenge. And I will be right back. I just want to go get a bottle of water. Of course, she stopped singing. Isn't that the way it always goes? It's like, I mean, I thought it'd be interesting if you guys could actually hear her. And of course, as soon as I leave the room, she shut up. So, anyhow, I'm back. I got me some water because I was getting kind of parched. Everybody stay hydrated. We're in the hot part of the year here. So Josh Cryer, I found him after his video on MAGA, and he put so many maggots down. It was so funny and good. Josh Cryer, good to have fellow liberals here in Vegas. There's a few of us. Actually, there should be a lot of us. I mean, this is the biggest population area in all of Nevada. But we lost our governor in the last election to a Republican. Catherine Mastos Cortez, I always mess her name up. She's one of our Democratic senators. She just barely won in 22, but she won. That's the main thing. But I think she won by just a couple thousand votes. Now we have Jackie Rosen, who's going to be going against a maggot in the general in November. And that's going to be a really close race. And I don't think it should be that close. I really don't think it should be that close. I mean, but it is. So for all my Nevada folks, we need to get out the word to vote blue, vote for Jackie Rosen. I'm in District 1. My House rep is Dina Titus. She had a really close race. She's going up against, I think, another maggot. And that's going to be a close race. It's very, very close. And I think they have Biden down in the polls. Now, we kind of take the polls with a grain of salt, but so Josh, it's up to you and me and other folks. I think there's a couple other people here in Vegas. They're in the chat. We need to get the word out to vote blue here in Nevada. We need to keep it blue. We're probably more purple, even though we have 2 Democratic senators. We don't want to lose our senators, and we don't want to lose whatever we have for our House representatives. We need every person we can get. We need every seat we can get in the House and the Senate. And so let's just get the word out, Josh. You, me, and I think there's some others here. I think there's a couple other people in this chat that live in Vegas, if I'm not mistaken. We need to keep just getting the word out of voting blue no matter who. Or people don't like the no matter who part because it just sounds like, people think it just sounds like you're a sheep or whatever. But we need to get the vote, need to get the word out that it's important to vote, and how there's a big, huge difference. Some people think there's not much of a difference. There's a huge, huge difference. Just look what they're doing to reproductive rights. If reproductive rights are important to you, then you need to vote blue. You need to vote for Democrats. Maybe instead of saying voting blue, we should say Democrats or whatever. There's going to be a bill or a proposition or something, I believe, in the November election about making, basically keeping abortion legal here in Nevada. I think that's going to be on the ballot in November, I believe. So we need to get people to the polls, and that should be reason enough. November should be huge. Hopefully it'll be huge in Nevada. Terry Taylor says, Joe Lombardo is your governor. He sounds horrible. To tell the truth, Terry Taylor, I don't think he isn't. I mean, he's a Republican, but he is sort of kept in check, I think, because our state legislature is a Democratic majority. And I think that's what kind of keeps him in check. So he's not as horrible as he could be. If he had a Republican run state legislature, then who knows? It'd be Katie bar the door, because he would be unleashed. So at least we have a Democratic state legislature that sort of keeps him in check. But yeah, we had a Democratic governor, and he lost. And he lost by a really close margin, but he lost. And I remember in that 2022, Catherine Cortez Mastos Cortez. I'm sorry, I always butcher her name. It's hyphenated and it's all kinds of stuff. And it was really touch and go. And I think the governor, our Democratic governor we had, thought he had it. I think he thought he had it kind of in the bag. And the main emphasis was going on getting Catherine reelected. And because we thought she was going to lose, but then it turned out he lost and she won. So anyhow, Josh, you and me, we've got a job, we got our work cut out for us. Because I really don't want Nevada to go red, or even purple. I mean, I want us to keep our Democratic senators, our Democratic House reps, and I want us to vote for Joe. There, I'm back. I really want our state to go to Biden, not to fucking Trump. So we've got our work cut out for us, Josh. We got to spread the word. Mr. Spock says, should have magnetic levitation and wind tunnel type thing. Could reach hyperspeeds. Well, now, hey, I want a gold-plated toilet, but that ain't in the works either. So, Andrew Petrie, I loved watching the governor of Pennsylvania telling Trump to fuck off and shut up in so many words. I think I saw that video or was listening to it. Somebody played it, Randy Rhoads or somebody. It was pretty good. Nick Rich says, zoom down the tube at Mach speed. The Real Bill P says, I'm looking forward to going into the transporter room and being digitally disembodied and reassembled. You don't like my music at all. Whenever I see your screen name there, I always makes me want to sing it. I don't know. My first job was a business that used vacuum tubes to transfer the money from the box office to the manager's office. I thought it was so futuristic. It's like at the bank, they had those tubes, what do they call them, pneumatic tubes or whatever. Nick Rich, never bitch at a computer glitch. But boom. Keith Polite says Biden has made the largest investment in passenger rail since the creation of Amtrak 50 years ago. Just another one of the great things this great president is doing. Hey, there's Shannon Tigris is here. Shannon Tigris. Hi everyone, Portland, Oregon, checking in. Thanks for checking in here in the driver's lounge. Terry Taylor says, never think you have it in the bag. Arrogance will get you nowhere. Indeed, TJ, getting the word out is crucial. Yeah, never, ever, ever, take things for granted or, underestimate your opponents. Never do that. Mrs. Black, I don't know, did you see The Fly at Real Bill P? Big Hook, the latest strategy via the Republicans is if you can't win following the rules, then change the rules. They do everything they can to institute ways that make it harder to vote because they know lower voter turnouts help them. Higher voter turnouts help us. And by us, I mean Democrats. Josh Cryer says, I consider Biden a more consequential president than Obama, and I loved Obama. I think that Biden really benefited from being the vice president of Obama. I think he learned, you take all of his senatorial experience and then 8 years in the White House under Obama. I think he learned so much, and then when he became president, he's applied all of that knowledge, plus knowledge of FDR and all this kind of stuff, and now we're seeing him in action, and we're seeing all that. We can talk about how old he is, but you know what comes with age? Wisdom. The man is full of wisdom. So. We're reaping the benefits of Joe Biden's wisdom. You don't like my music, says, never count your chickens until they hatch. That's a truism. Gina Maynard says, it's a system of tubes. Yeah. What are the internets? It's a system of tubes. Keith Polite says we need to learn to speak in a compliment sound bites to win in November. I don't know why I said it like that, Keith. I just that voice. Sometimes the voices just manifest themselves, and I can't help it. I think I want to say it again. We need to speak in accomplishment sound bites to win in November. It just sounded like that's how that would sound. If that's the sound it makes. Big Hook, we learned what not to do, learning from Obama's shortfalls. Actually, Obama didn't have too many shortfalls. He was up against the teabaggers. The teabaggers won the midterms, if you recall. Obama, I don't like this revisionist history. Obama did a really, he was always having to outsmart the majority Republican Party. The deck was stacked against him. So I don't really blame Obama. Like a lot of people want to blame Obama because he didn't get this done, didn't get that done. Well, he had a really, really, the weaponization of the filibuster for one thing. It was used more under him than I've ever seen in my life. The filibuster was used and abused like never before. Steve Sayers, Hunter Biden should be pardoned. Well, we'll see what kind of punishment he gets. Like Hal was saying, if they give him like 100 years or something, then he'll get pardoned. But if it's just you know, something reasonable, then Biden doesn't want to appear, like he's playing favorites or whatever, because that's what they want him to do. The real Bill P. When I started getting old, the government decided to remove the bullets and shrapnel. Well, that's good, I guess, right? Isn't that good? Bonnie Thompson's here. Hey, Bonnie, good to see you as we just chit chat here in the driver's lounge. Thanks for being here. Bonnie says, I was just on Threads pushing back on Mia Farrow's comment that President Biden is shaky and frail. Mia Farrow, you should be ashamed of yourself, Mia. Oh my God. Shut the fuck up, Mia Farrow. Josh Cryer, Obama was a young guy, first time senator, and just didn't have the experience. ACA was a great achievement, but he was so constrained from that point forward. Yeah, big thanks to the teabaggers, and thanks to people not showing up in the midterms. That's why we've got to show up, folks. Every single election, every time, every election. If there's an election, I don't care if it's some city local election, and I don't care if it's a midterm. I don't care if it's a presidential election. Whatever it is. Every single time, we all need to show up in huge numbers. That's how we get a Tea Party revolution. The Tea Party, they came in and swept all those elections, if you recall. And in 2010, we can't have that shit. Maybe we learned a lesson in 2022. It was supposed to be a big red wave, and it was barely even. It wasn't even like the faucet wasn't even turned on. So hopefully we've learned our lesson. I don't know, but like someone was saying earlier, we can't take anything for granted. We can't rest on our laurels. You don't want to rest on your laurels. Please don't rest on your laurels. We have to vote in huge numbers every single time. Just figure every election we vote. We got to vote, because when we don't vote, that's when a Tea Party revolution comes in. That's when maggots get in. And, so it's always going to be this constant battle of keeping the maggots out, because they're disgusting and filthy. You don't want them. You don't want them inside. You want them outside. Get the maggots outside. Now I have to scroll back a little bit because it's like a lot of all caps going on here. Gina Maynard says Obama was too timid geopolitically, domestically sound though. I disagree. I don't think he was timid on anything. You don't like my music, Mitch McFilibuster? You're right. Walter Makarovich says, good morning, Trucker John. Hey, good morning to you, Walter. Good to see you. Thanks for hanging out here at the Truckers Lounge. And to all the Truckers Lounge, I know there is a lot of issues to vote on for November, but the one that drives me the most is democracy or dictatorship. I will never forget. Right. Do you want an autocracy or do you want democracy? I choose democracy. Steve Sayers says, does it matter how old President Biden is? All good cabinet that can be trusted. Well, I think as long as you're able to do the job, then it doesn't matter. And I think Biden's doing an exceptional job. Alvin Stu about Hunter won't go to prison. I don't think he will either, at least not for this. And I don't think he's got a California thing coming in. I don't think that's just gonna be a fine or something, I think. Josh Cryer says, after Teddy died and Al Franken wasn't seated, they kept everything tied up, literally 8 years. Yeah. Obama basically had a slight majority, right, in the Senate and in Congress for, I think, 63 days. And that's when they were able to get the ACA passed. And then after that, it was all uphill, like you say. Coffee party. I remember the coffee party. I I guess I joined the coffee party like on Facebook because they had a Facebook group. I'm still in that. But I remember the coffee party. They tried to get something to kind of counter the Tea Party. But that kind of stuff, it seems like it doesn't really take off like politically. Like, yeah, they might have a lot of followers on Facebook or on social media, but like coffee party, but they never were big like the Tea Party. And the Tea Party basically is what morphed into the maggots. Terry Taylor says, Mia Farrow said that. I thought she was a Biden fan. Yeah, I don't know what to believe anymore. Hey, there's Dan Ditso. Dan Ditso, good to see you. I've never seen you here before, so welcome to the Truckers Lounge. And make sure you like, subscribe, and share. If you would, that'd be great. Dan Ditso says, as an exercise, will the United States catch up to other countries, as well as Latin America, and break the bipartisan system? No. Answer is no. Not anytime soon. As far as like having a two-party system, that's pretty well baked in. I don't think we're going to get rid of that. Maybe if we can get rid of the electoral college, then maybe. But that's all going to take huge, massive amounts of political will, and we need to change a lot of state governments from red to blue to do that. Fancy's back. Good. Thank you for coming back. I didn't know. Yeah, that's right. You said you were gonna be right back, I think. So you're back. Josh Cryer says the maggots have so many judges and county seats. It's so disgusting. So I agree. We need to vote every time. Every time. Do not take anything for granted. Don't sit anything out. Right now in Nevada, we still have mail-in voting. If the Republicans get their way, they'll probably take that away. If they get the majorities at the state level, probably in the state legislatures or whatever, because I think they're the ones that kind of decide that kind of stuff. They'll probably take it away. And right now, mail-in voting, I think, is great. I mailed my ballot in, and they send you a little notice that says we received your ballot and it was counted. And I love the mail-in voting system. So we need to stay on top of this shit. Big Hook, Tea Party was old racist people who held libertarian views, death panels, bullshit, nonsense, lies, which is basically, like I say, morphed into the maggots. They fit perfectly in. They just went perfectly from being Tea Party teabaggers to MAGA maggots. I mean, it just was there was no lag time there. They just went right over to the next one. Roxanne Arnfield says, President Biden does need to work on a little dance routine, though. Yeah, I agree. Nick Rich, piss on all fascists. There you go. You know what? If they were on fire, I wouldn't piss on them. You know what I mean? You don't like my music, says women's rights, immigrants' rights, LGBTQ rights, and black history are all under threat. Absolutely. Those are the things they want to strip away. They want to strip away a woman's right to her bodily autonomy. They want to take away contraception. Easy for me to say. Pretty soon, are they going to start outlawing condoms? For God's sakes. That's how fucking ridiculous these fucking maggots are. And I don't mind calling them maggots. And they really don't like being called maggots. But you know what? If you're going to dress up from head to toe in MAGA merch, then you're just opening yourself up to being called a maggot. So I'm sorry. Not sorry. William says Project 25 is some scary shit. That's their plan, man. They're laying it all out right there. How they just want to take over from all departments. You don't like my music. Obama was handed George W. Bush's banking collapse. He gave Trump a great economy. Yep. Turned it around. I mean, we went from the brink of going into another Great Depression. We were in the Great Recession under Bush. And then Obama got in there just in the nick of time to keep us from falling into a depression like we had in the 30s. And so that alone, you guys should be giving him heaps of praise. instead of all this, he was timid and he didn't do enough. God damn it. How much more did you want the guy to do? He took us from the brink of collapse into, as you can see on this chart right here, look how much exponentially the job growth was between W and Obama. And I remember those last couple of years under W, where we instead of having 100,000 or 200,000 jobs, new jobs, we were having negative, just like what Trump did. We were hemorrhaging jobs every single month for months and months on end under Bush, under W. Hundreds of thousands of jobs every month were going overseas, basically. And then you look at that chart. Look at that chart, guys. Over here, look at that chart. Look how much the job growth was between W and Obama. Maybe it doesn't look impressive because Clinton's is better and Biden's is better, but look at the difference between W and Obama. And oh my God, you guys want to say he's timid and he didn't do a good job? No, come on, guys. Look at that chart. And then you see the next one, Trump. Look at it's going into the sewer. And then you see what's Biden has accomplished, which is remarkable. But that doesn't, don't shortchange Obama, man. I remember the banking crisis. I remember the crisis. I remember the housing bubble burst and the banking crisis and all that. I remember the Treasury Secretary coming out and saying, yeah, the sky's falling, or whatever. But it wasn't like Chicken Little. I mean, it was like real. It was really happening. And so say what you want about Obama, but he did a lot, man. He did the best he could, and he wasn't weak. He wasn't timid. He was up against some really huge obstacles. And he took us from being that little tiny sliver of job growth, and which really the last 2 or 3 years was more like Trump's chart. Because we were underwater. And then look at how Obama turned it all around under Obama. And I know it's not Obama doing everything, but it's Obama's presidency, his administration, getting people in place, getting policies in place that turned it around. So I will forever give Obama great credit, and I will always look at him in a good light as being a really great president. And I'm not going to revise history and say he was weak and timid, because he wasn't. He did the best he could with what he had. And the American people, the American voting electorate, the voters of America let him down in 2010 when they didn't show up. Now they came back around they reelected him. But really, if it hadn't been for that tape that came out about Mitt Romney, that waiter made, I don't think Obama might not have won. So whoever that waiter was, I hope so. I hope that some rich fucker, I hope George Soros or somebody, I hope they gave that waiter like $10 million or something as a reward, because I think he saved Obama's fucking re-election. So folks, we can't, come on, you guys are better than that. We can't be putting down Obama. Next thing you know, you're going to start putting down Biden or something. Dan Ditso, yeah, okay, Dan Ditso's here. Josh Cryer says the biggest thing was in 2010, like dozens of House people ran as Democrats and switched Republican. I don't remember that, actually. I remember a couple maybe, but I don't remember dozens. Josh Cryer, and they still do that kind of stuff. Dan Ditso, thank you. I did describe. Thank you for your subscription, Dan Ditso. I appreciate it. And liked. I love it. I love it, man. I love it. Joel says we got channel memberships and super chats, and those are always fun to do. And you can support the show by liking, subscribing, sharing, or you can buy me a coffee. Just some great ways there to just help support the show, keep us going, keep us running, keep the lights on. Josh Crayer, I got my mail-in ballot for state stuff. I got my mail-in ballot for basically all that was on my ballot was the Senate primary and I voted for Rosen, Jackie Rosen, of course. And then there was I guess 4 different justice of the peace elections, and they were I think it was 4 if I remember correctly, and 3 of them were unopposed running, and then there was one where they had 4 people running, and that was all that was on my ballot for this primary here. Cherry Taylor says, vote in every single election. Do your research on everything on the ballot, judges, school board, etc. Yeah. Do a little research. I've talked about this before. Hey, I know we're busy. We got kids. We got work. We got stuff going on. We got soccer matches and Little League. And we got shopping. And we got, repairs or whatever. But you can take 10 or 15 minutes or half an hour or whatever out of your day. And you can go look up some issues. You can look up some candidates. All it takes is a little bit of effort. It's not really as hard as people think. Fancy says we should outlaw Viagra. No! But yeah, absolutely. If they're going to take away, contraception or whatever, then, why do we have boner pills? Big Cook, Mifeprostone was approved by the SCOTUS this morning. Well, that's good. Nick Rich, maggots are morons. I don't like my music. Oh, you don't like my music. Biden supporters don't dress head to toe in merch because they have some dignity. Although I did find a picture the other day. Shoot, I should have saved it. I have it, but it'd be hard for me to find it because I forget what folder it is. Of me in my Bernie t-shirt. I told you I have a Bernie t-shirt and I cannot find it. I don't know what happened to it. But I do have a picture of me wearing it, and I think at some point I'm going to post it because that's all I have left of Bernie is that T-shirt, and all I have is that picture, and I don't know what happened to the actual T-shirt. It pisses me off. Walter McCarver says, Trucker John, I recently confronted MAGA. They told me what I watch is horror on several different networks. On Jan 6 was all a Hollywood production. Oh my God. They are so... Oh, that just drives me nuts, Walter. That drives me nuts. Josh Cryer, W cost us trillions with his wars. Yes, we put us into these unnecessary wars. Had the big housing bubble burst under him, allowing all of these, liar loans and all that kind of stuff. Just a horrible, horrible president. And that's what happens when you elect Republicans. That's what happens every single time. That's what happens. Especially you can chart it out from Reagan, like this chart, on down. You can just see how better Democrats do. Fancy Biden is outshining everybody. Everybody. I'm skipping down because I know I'm really behind. I don't like reading old posts because then I forget what we were talking about, and kind of sorta, you know what I mean? So I'm kind of skipping down here a little bit. Barney Thompson says hundreds of people became homeless. I became homeless because of Bush. Yeah, remember that housing bubble burst? That was under Bush, not under Obama. Obama turned it around. I'm not saying. I know Barney didn't say that. I'm just saying. There seems to be this sort of a lot of people on the right. They like to say they talk about the housing bubble burst and bailing out the banks and the banking crisis, all that stuff. But that stuff all happened under Bush, and they like to blame Obama on that. Josh Cryer says Obama, as you said, had 63 days of power and he never was allowed to have a budget passed. Yeah, exactly. Every year. He had his budget, he put it up there, and the Republicans refused. You don't like my music, says mail is the only way to vote. Lineups are for chumps. And I don't want to be a chump. Gino Maynard says, if we can't criticize our own, I know we are not better than that. No, Gino, yeah, I know, but criticism where criticism is due. And I don't think Obama deserves, I think the criticism that gets leveled at Obama is revisionist history. I don't agree with it. I don't agree that Obama was timid or weak at all. I think he was going up against an obstructionist Republican Party that on day one said that their number one goal is to make Obama a one-term president. And from that day on, they did not work with the Democrats or with Obama at all. You can't forget that. And so, Gino, I love you. I think you're great, and you guys, but don't twist it. Don't forget the obstruction that he went up against. And for him to get anything done was really remarkable. To go up against that wall of Republican obstructionism like I've never seen before. I mean, we've always had some obstruction, but never like when Obama became president. And then they've just been getting worse and worse ever since. And a lot of that had to do with the fact that Obama was black. Not just that he was a Democrat, but that he was a black Democrat, black president. And, I know that drove a lot of the Republicans and right-wingers crazy to think that there was a black man in the White House. They did not like that. And I know that because when I was driving a truck and I had my CB on, the very day, like the day after the election when Obama won in 2008, the CB just became this big sewer of right-wing nut jobs getting on the CB and I never heard the N-word so much in my life and it was all directed at Obama. And them just saying over the CB, they were going to hang him. They were going to kill him. They went right to that on day one. It got to the point where I just had to shut off my CB. I couldn't listen to it. But it was constant. It was nonstop. For the first few years of Obama's presidency, it was, we're going to hang that N-word. And they weren't just speaking metaphorically or whatever. They wanted to really hang him. And I was really in fear of the president's life. Because I lived through JFK and MLK and RFK and even Malcolm X for that matter. I lived through those. I was a little kid, but I lived through those times of assassinations, political assassinations in America. This isn't South America. This isn't some third world country or banana republic. This was the United States of America, and we had all these assassinations in the 60s. And it took me right back to that. When Obama won, and I heard all of this talk on the radio, on the CB radio, about how we're going to hang this N-word, and this N-word that, and they weren't saying N-word, they were saying the whole thing over and over again, just nonstop barrage of it, all of this hatred and vitriol directed at the president, all because he was a black man. He hadn't even done anything yet, other than win the election. But they wanted to string him up, just like all the lynchings in the South. Going straight back to that, and it took me right back to the '60s, which was a kind of a scary time in a lot of ways. There was good times, no doubt, but it was a scary time too. All with the Vietnam War raging on, and presidents and leaders getting assassinated left and right. It was kind of a scary time. And that, when 2008, when Obama won, it took me right back to that. When I heard all that stuff on the CB, I was like, oh my God, what the fuck is going on here? It really, and that, we talk about Trump bringing the racists out. When Obama won, that brought the racists out. That was the start of it. You guys need to remember what it was like and not revise it and say that Obama was weak and timid. He wasn't. He was going up against a huge wall of obstruction and racism. The racism came out in spades, I guess we could say. That is probably horrible what I just said, sorry. But it was... So, I don't know. I guess it just sort of rubs me the wrong way when people want to look back and kind of shit on Obama. It's just not true. The man withstood such hatred directed at him. Hatred. Just hatred. And it was, and don't be fooled, by Mitch McConnell. I'm sure hates him just as much. He might not have ever said we're going to hang that N-word, but he did say we're going to make our number one goal that he's a one-term president. And you can see the whole way through was all obstruction, like you've never seen before, like I'd never seen before. So I don't mean to say that you can't criticize, one of our own who maybe does something wrong or whatever. Everyone's open to criticism. But I just think it's unfair how people are looking back on Obama like he had a magic wand and he should have been waving his magic wand to change all this stuff. Well, you don't have a magic wand when you're the president of the United States. All you have is basically the Congress. And that's what we, the voters, need to give our... If we have a president that we vote and we love, or we think is going to do a good job, or we think is the best choice for that election, whatever year it is, then we need to understand that it's important that we give that president a Congress to work with. Otherwise, it makes it very, very difficult to get anything done. And so I think Obama deserves a lot of credit for getting the things that he could get done against such a right-wing Republican obstruction mandate. They just abused the filibuster like never before. So I guess I will always defend Obama. Whenever I hear someone say that he was weak and timid, that kind of rubs me the wrong way. That kind of irritates me because it's just not true. And the man went under who knows how many hundreds of thousands of death threats during his 8 years. He probably still gets them. I think it was the Southern Poverty Law Company, whatever they're called. They track these kind of things. And as soon as Obama became president, the number of, the white supremacist, white nationalist groups, their numbers grew in their incidences of violent acts went off the charts as soon as Obama was elected. So, I don't know, man. I don't know how we can revise history to say he was weak and timid. Terry Taylor says, I lose my shit whenever a clueless white person in this country says that we're not a racist country. Obama proved how far we hadn't come, even though he was elected. It certainly brought them out. It brought the racists out. So, because, for many years, they're kind of hiding. They're kind of deceptive. And so maybe I can see why someone would think, well, maybe we were making progress and we're not a racist. Or there's a little bit of racism here and there. When Obama was elected, man, it brought him out. It brought him out of the shadows. And then when Trump was elected, I mean, it was even more so. You know, because Trump made it okay. It made it okay for racists to be racist. You don't like my music. Says Obama passed the first socialized medicine bill. He deserves respect for that alone. Big Cook. Those who deny racism need to see how many times they had to replace the Emmett Till Memorial. They had to put up a solid steel memorial because they kept shooting and dumping it in the river. Yeah, there's just sick, disgusting people. And people like Donald Trump, you know, validates their racism for them. And it makes them, it emboldens them. That's one of the biggest problems, I guess, with having Trump is that it emboldens these racists to just come out like into the daylight. You don't like my music. The ACA was a huge compromise to the Republicans. He should have passed full universal health care, but I won't make the perfect enemy of the good. Hey, look, yeah, I mean, but he couldn't have got that passed, so he got what he could get passed. Hey, Jolie gifted 5 Trigger John memberships. Thank you, Jolie. That's so nice, so awesome of you. Thanks for doing that. And so there's who they went to. David Windler, I haven't seen in a while. WW, I think I really pissed him off a few weeks ago, and hasn't been back since. Sorry, WW. I just like, you know, fucking with you, but maybe someday you'll be back. Keith Polite got one. Cynthia Walker and Duster Brush 50. Ooh, someone was lurking. But thanks, Jolie. That's pretty cool. Hey, Kimchi has been a member for 3 months. Says, John, you rock. No, you rock. Kimchi, thanks for being here, by the way. Roxanne Armfield, I benefited from ACA. I couldn't get health insurance for many years until it was passed because of pre-existing conditions. Yeah, that was the huge part of it. All those little sort of like healthcare Bill of Rights type of things, you know. And then as soon as the Republicans got any type of power, the first thing they do is try to strip those things away. That's all that the Republicans do. They strip away our hard-fought for rights, whether it's healthcare rights, women's bodily autonomy, you know, whether it's now they want to go after, you know, like child labor laws and all this kind of shit. All they do is strip away everything that we fight so hard to get and we're so passionate about. The Republicans get in, and what do? They want to take it away. So stop voting for Republicans. It's ridiculous. And I know most of you people in the chat don't, but if there's any maggots that come across this, you guys, there's probably no hope for you anyhow, but if there's any like moderate independents who are like not sure who to vote for, stop voting for Republicans. They're not doing us any good. They're taking us into the Stone Ages, you know? It's just ridiculous. You don't like my music? You rock. That's my new name. Real Bill P, Kimchi, how you doing? How you doing, Kimchi? Hello, Kimchi. Everybody's saying hello to Kimchi because everybody loves Kimchi. Kimchi, you rock. I don't know. Let's see. Big Hook. Bush fucked everyone with that Medicare Advantage scam. Yep. Medicare Advantage is not Medicare Advantage. It's Medicare Disadvantage. Hey, there's Holly. Says hi, Trucker John. Well, hello, Holly. Nice to see you. Good to see you here. Thanks for stopping into the Truckers Lounge. Real Bill P says, welcome to Driver. Hey, we just get a new membership there. Awesome. Hey, Real Bill P, thanks for joining up, becoming a driver. You are now an official driver. That's awesome. Thanks. I really appreciate that. New members. I think I got about 30 members, I think, all told, I think. Kim Tree, hi, Bill. Lying on my freezer pack for disc, but otherwise great. Well, I hope that disc gets better soon, Kimchi. Julia says, happy truckiversary. There you go. That's a good one. Truckiversary. I like that, Julie. Yeah, happy truckiversary to Kim Chi. Real Bill says, I didn't know that my membership had expired. Ooh, it does that. Got to keep up on it. Barney Thompson, Republicans have been playing a long game since Reagan, about the same time the Heritage Foundation, I guess. Oh yeah, and probably even before that, but certainly with Reagan, all their shenanigans with Iran-Contra to get him elected, and then of course supply side and voodoo economics, all that shit, Reaganomics. It's all geared towards the rich. That's what creates these these big shifts of big income gaps, wage gaps, and we've seen the wage gap closing under Biden. People, it's under Biden now. We're seeing the wage gap get closed by a third. That's why we got to keep voting. We can't keep showing up and voting for Democrats. We can see, look at the chart. Look at the chart, people. Things are better under Democrats. And for the guy who said at the Trump rally, why are things more expensive now than 4 years ago? Whatever is more expensive, gas is going down. I know that much. I just saw yesterday, I don't buy gas because I drive an EV, but gas here in Vegas at the Arco, regular unleaded was like $3.89 or something. And they had diesel for $3.49. I haven't seen that low for ages. But for the guy at the Trump rally who said, why are things more expensive? Well, you can. That's not Biden's fault. That's the greedy corporations' fault, who are making record profits, who are making more profits than they've ever have in the history of profit making. So they're gouging you. They don't have to charge as much as they're charging. They can still lower the prices and still make record profits, still make lots of money. So blame them for that. Don't blame Biden, for God's sakes. I am so thirsty. I don't know why I'm so thirsty. I am very thirsty. Very dry. It's very dry here. Dry heat. It's a dry heat. Hey, there's Three Girls, Three Wills. Good to see Three Girls, Three Wills in the driver's lounge. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for joining us and being here. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share and all that good stuff. Get our memberships going. We want to get to 1,900. That's the new goal is 1,900. You don't like my music. Says the greatest untold story of American history is the business conspiracy to overthrow FDR, discussed by General Smedley Butler in War is a Racket. War is a Racket. Williams saw it for $3.49. Terry Taylor, Nixon should have been held accountable. Yeah, well, hindsight's 2020. But yeah, I think so. I think they were just glad to get rid of him. One way or the other. Real Bill P, gotta run, folks. The Yankees play at 2 p.m. Be safe, take care, and remember, all you need is love and a cool drink. Yeah. But thank you, Real Bill P. Cheers. Hope you get something to drink there. Remember, stay hydrated. Three Girls, Three Wills says, Jolie, Roxanne, Kim Chi, top of the morning to you, Governor. Hey, Mad Max, Slava Ukraini. Good to see Mad Mac here. I can't believe SCOTUS voted 100% for keeping the abortion bill. Do we think they're becoming a bit scared? Laughing out loud. Well, they are certainly under a lot of scrutiny, aren't they? And Alito and Thomas, I think still, they need to be fucking excommunicated. Kimchi, 86 in Virginia, and even the birds are hiding. Tim Nelson says, freedom! Roxanne. Nick Rich, H2O, most of your being, stay hydrated. Kimchi says HAGD bill. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. Hope all good day. No. Have a good day. Oh, have a good day. That must be have a good day. Okay, I got to work these things out. So, Mr. Spock, what's the difference between a hurricane profit gouging and COVID profit gouging? Nothing, but one is a crime and the other appears not to be. I don't know. I think they're both crimes. Real Bill P, I love you folks. What a rush. Well, we love you too, Real Bill P. Thanks so much for being here. Andrew Petrie, what kind of music do you listen to, John? I listen to all kinds of music. Mainly probably classic rock. I like alternative rock, the 90s grunge. I like new rock, like today, what I consider new rock to be maybe 21 Pilots, the Black Keys, early 2000s, Kings of Leon, if you will, the Kings of Leon. Cage the Elephant's one of my favorites from the 2000s era. I don't know why I went to that voice, but I did. You don't like my music? What's the best trucker road anthem? On the road again. Can't wait to get on the road again. Hey, Steven Sanders, I've been a member for 2 months. Keep on trucking and vote blue. Abso-fucking-lutely. Thank you, Steven, for being a member. I do appreciate it. Thanks for being here. All that good stuff. Terry Taylor, the point about Nixon is that if he had been held accountable, yeah, I know. We may have had less criminality in White House after him, but yes, I say. Yeah, Terry Taylor, that is a good point, and that is absolutely true. Perhaps if we had held Nixon to more accountability and had treated him, a little more, lawfully instead of just like pardoning him and all that kind of shit, then that hopefully that would have set precedent and set an example of, if you do this, you're going to go to jail or you're going to get this punishment or whatever. Absolutely, Terry Taylor. Absolutely. Nick Chris says, "What the fuck, laughing out loud?" I don't know. I don't know what you're what the fucking. Fancy, member for 2 months. It's what I do. Fancy's here. Never fear. Thank you for being a member for 2 months, Fancy. That is so awesome. We got the memberships going. And a happy truckiversary, as Jolie would say. 56 Nick Rich, acronyms drive me crazy, in my humble opinion. Have a good day, though. I think I figured that one out. I think that's what that meant. I'm rather proud of myself, actually, for figuring it out. 3 Girls, 3 Wheels. I can't handle disco. Of course, it was during my heydays. I wasn't really into disco all that much, gotta tell the truth. But, there were some good songs that came out, It was good to go to a dance, like a high school dance, and have something to dance to, instead of just trying to dance to Foghat, which was one of my favorite groups of all time. Don't get me wrong, but it's better to dance to like Donna Summer or something than Foghat. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I am so thirsty right now. Maybe because I'm talking so much. You don't like my music. Says Low Rider by War is a great driving tune. I do like that song. Low Rider. Mad Max says best driving song, Radar Love. That's a good one. Radar Love. Radar Love. Mr. Spock, I like Himalayan Temple chanting on the top 100 all-time church chants list. Mr. Spock, leave it to you. Leave it to you. I'm not sure if that'd be a good road song, but maybe. I don't know. Kimchi Sick, yes, says yes, Mad Mac. Radar Love means I can't drive 95. You don't like my music, says 3 Girls, 3 Wheels. Good disco and some of my favorite music. It's some of my favorite music. But they slapped that word on every piece of shit for about 3 years. Mad Mac, it was Min J. Daniels says, if the U.S. had held the Reagan administration more accountable for Iran. Well, they had the Iran Contra hearings, and, I guess when you got Republicans running the thing, that they're going to kind of sweep it under the rug, Fancy Sailing by Christopher Cross is a good cruising song. I like Sailing. You don't like my music? Judas Priest, Turbo Lover, or anything by ZZ Top. Big Hook, Beach Boys, anyone? You know, the Beach Boys, it's one of those groups that I really don't ever go, gee, I'm really jonesing for some Beach Boys. You know what I mean? But then when a Beach Boys song comes on, I'm like totally into it. It's kind of weird. Like, it's kind of like the Doors are that way too. Like, I don't really go, boy, I really could use some Doors music right now. But then when they come on, I'm like, fuck, this is an awesome song, you know? It's kind of weird that way. MJ Daniel says, I saw Foghat with the original lineup in the 90s, just a few years before Lonesome Dave died, in a biker bar with a crowd. I don't think Lonesome Dave died at a biker bar. I think you saw him at a biker bar with a crowd of maybe 300 to 400 people. Great show. Yeah, Lonesome Dave, he was the heart and soul of Foghat. And now they perform, they were still performing, at least as of a couple years ago. And I think the only guy left, the only original, was the drummer, I believe. And I'm not sure if they're still performing now. But I know as of a couple years ago they were performing. I was at a truck stop. It was an Indian casino in New Mexico, exit 108, I think. What's the name of that Indian casino? Something like Lone Eagle or something. And Foghat was having a concert in the parking lot. And you could just walk up to it. I mean, I don't think they were even selling tickets. And I went and checked them out. No one said, hey, you know, they just had some seats out there. And it was Foghat. But really, the only original member, I think, was the drummer. And all the other ones were guys that they'd brought in. But still, it was cool. And everyone was rocking out, you know. It sounded pretty good. But, you know, it's kind of hard to call that Foghat, you know, at that point. It's more like almost more like a Foghat tribute band, even though they had the original drummer, you know, and he was able to keep the name, I guess. But hey, it happens, you know. Time marches on, and we die, and you know. So that if you have a chance to see the Rolling Stones, go see them. I wish they were in town. I wish I would have seen them. That's why I saw Bruce when he was here. I made sure because I'm a total Bruce Springsteen fan and E Street Band, and I was able to see Bruce. I think this is going to be his last big tour with the whole full band, you know. And I'm glad I went and saw Bruce. If you love the Stones, I've been watching YouTube videos of the Stone concert. It looks amazing. They were here. I wish I would have gone to see them. So if you have a chance to see these bands, they're not getting any younger. None of us are getting any younger. If you got a chance to see them, go see them. Mad Mac, Doobie Brothers, Rocking Down the Highway. That's a good one. Kim Shee says, bread is the epitome of sappy. Wore out the cassette on my portable player. Yeah, bread. Yeah, what's that? Their big song is like, yeah, I remember them though. Steve Sayer says, couldn't get enough Moody Blues once upon a time. The only really song I like about Moody Blues is I'm just a singer in a rock and roll band. And I think it's so ironic that to me is really their only song that kind of rocks. You know what I mean? Like everything else is this sort of, I don't know, this kind of artsy, hippie, acid-taking kind of music. But I'm just a singer in a rock and roll band. I love that song because it actually rocks. It's like their only song to me that really kind of rocks. Kim Shee says, Rush is always appropriate. Oh, absolutely. Rush is, talk about amazing. Neil Peart, rest in peace, right? Steve Sayers, Foghat, second opening for Fleetwood Mac, Subway Brown first. I love Foghat. I love Fleetwood Mac too. Alvin Stu, my first concert was Sonny and Cher. Wow. That's going back. Sonny and Cher. Huggard Reader says Doobie Brothers are good too. Jesus is just all right with me. Jesus is just all right. Bum ba-dum, bum bum ba-dum. Let's see. Bonnie Thompson says, tried to get my daughter to see The Who when John Entwistle was still alive. Yeah. Tim Nelson, Montrose, early Sammy Hagar. Yes, Montrose is awesome. Sammy Hagar is awesome. Sammy Hagar, can you believe Sammy Hagar is having a birthday? I don't know if he already had his birthday or if it's coming up, because he dropped this video about this things he's doing for his birthday. And I think he's either already turned 77 or he's turning 77. And that got me to thinking, like, isn't Trump 77? And I know we're all in different shapes. We're all in different levels of health or whatever. I'm 63 and I'm way out of shape, and I'm way worse a shape than Sammy Hagar, who's 77. But it just made me think about, look at Sammy Hagar and look at Trump. They're basically the same age. And, you know, Trump can't walk down a ramp without having to grab someone's arm. And I've been watching Sammy Hagar forever, and I've been watching some recent videos, and he's still moving around and singing and rocking out just like he always has. So put that in your pipe and smoke it, Trump, and all you maggots. Sammy Hagar is way better shape. Whatever that means. Doesn't really mean anything, I guess. But I just thought, but that was the first thing I thought of when Sammy was saying he's, I guess, turning 77. Because I just didn't think he was. I knew he was always older than when he joined Van Halen. He was like 10 years older than Eddie and everybody. But it just sort of, when he said he's turning 77, it just sort of like, wow, that's right. He's pushing 80, and the guy is just like Mick Jagger. If you've seen any of the recent tour footage of Jagger, he's moving around like he's a crisp young 50-year-old. I mean, it's kind of amazing. That's how some people can keep themselves in good shape and everything at that age. It's kind of an inspiration, I guess is what I'm trying to say. You don't like my music. Says, my first concert and album I bought was Tears for Fears, Songs from the Big Chair. Tears for Fears is awesome. I still sing me some Tears for Fears. Everybody wants to rule the world. 56, Nick Rich, baby, I'ma want you. Baby, I'ma need you. Thank you, Nick Rich. That's bread. That was bread. Mad Mac, if, from bread. If I could, whatever. I'm not good at remembering lyrics, unfortunately. Terry Taylor, great song, TJ. MJ Daniel, Lonesome Dave passed in 2000. I saw him in 1996 here in Olympia, Washington. Evergreen Ballroom that opened in the 50s but burned down just a couple of years after we saw Foghat. Wow. Well, that is really great that you got to see Lonesome Dave. Like that before he passed. That's pretty cool. Lonesome Dave, he's Foghat, basically, in my opinion. Mad Mac, Love Money Blues, saw them 3 times. Yeah, they're a great band, but I'm just saying, I just thought it was kind of ironic. The song, I'm Just a Singer in a Rock and Roll Band, and it's like that really, to me, is the only song they ever did that really rocked out. Dana Darden, thanks for being here, by the way. I don't think I've seen Dana Darden before, but thanks for being here in the Truckers Lounge, and I hope, make sure you like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. Dana Darden says, my first concert was Elvis. Oh, Elvis was awesome. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. Elvis was the king, man. Elvis was the king. Fancy, Led Zeppelin rules. Led Zeppelin is the king. No, they're the best, man. They're the best. I mean, I put them and the Beatles really as, I think, the 2 top rock bands of all time. Beatles number 1, Zeppelin number 2, in my humble opinion. MJ Daniel, my first concert was the Rush Permanent Waves tour when I was around 16. 38 Special opened. Wow, 38 Special. That's kind of a contrast, kind of that southern rock, and then Rush just coming in with fucking guns a-blazing, right? Walter Makarovich, Head East, a very underrated group, excellent in concert. Janelle Walker's here. Hello, she says. Hello to truckers. Hello to you, Janelle. Good to see you. Thanks for being here. Always good to see Janelle. Make sure you hit that thumbs up for me. Like, subscribe, and share. All that good stuff. Kim Shee says Hager and Lee are both misogynists. Sorry, can't ignore that. Or Pat Benatar's bitchiness. I don't think Hagar, well, maybe you know more than I do. I don't think Hagar is a misogynist. I don't. I know, and that, I mean, I'm not going to mansplain it. Who am I, right? And I think Lee, David Lee Roth, it should be Roth, not Lee. But anyhow, David Lee Roth, I don't, yeah, maybe, I don't know. I could, look, I'm a dude, so, hey man, if Kim Shee, you say they are, then they are. I'm not even going to argue, but I still like them. I like their music, and I'm sorry, but Big Hook, who is currently playing in Vegas? Who's not currently playing in Vegas? That's the question. I don't know. As far as like big bands coming through, I don't know who's here now. You don't like my music. Best concert I ever saw was Ministry in 1992. Wow. They had a giant fire-breathing dragon skeletons on stage, which they gradually tore apart and threw into the audience. Well, that sounds like a good time. Nick Rich, my first concert, Alice Cooper, $1 Billion Babies. Wow. That sounds like an awesome time. School's out forever. Dana Darton says, I've seen all the greats. The Eagles, Steve Miller, Supertramp. I love Supertramp. Rush. If only I remembered the shows laughing out loud. That's the problem, huh? This becomes a blur, you know, especially if you were imbibing in certain substances. Kim Shee, I skip over Clapton, the racist now too. I liked Clapton, you know, going back to Cream and all that stuff and his solo career, but yeah, he's a douchebag. Tim Nelson, Patsy Cline, pulling out a Patsy Cline on us there. She was a great country artist, no doubt. Mad Mac saw Led Zeppelin in 73, still have my ticket, $6.50. All tickets were the same price for all seats or floor back in those days. Wow. Yeah. The good old days. The good old days. Donna O. Hey, Donna O is in the Truckers Lounge. Good to see Donna O. Donna says, Donnie Iris is 81 and still performing. I don't know who Donnie Iris is, but God bless him for still performing. Howie Z is in the Truckers Lounge. Bread and Cake. I like Cake. The band Cake. Bread? I don't know about that one. Steve Sayers just rolled tall with the little flute. Little flute guy. Uh-oh, Barney Thompson's iPhone just died. That's not good. I hope mine doesn't die. I forgot that I started with a little bit lower charge, but I think we're okay. Mad Max, school's out for summer. Kim Shee, if a picture paints 1,000 words, if a picture paints 1,000 words. That's Bread, right? Three Grocery Reels. I've seen Bruce 8 times. Nice. I've only seen Bruce, I think, only 3 times. But, hey, man, it's better than nothing. You don't like my music? Any Motorhead fans here? Oh, Motorhead, yeah, they're good. Kim Shee, yes, Stephen Jethro. How is he? Have had life in a northern town stuck in my head today. Life in a northern town. Dana Darden, Kim Shee, this was sung at my mom's funeral. Oh, you're giving me chills. It's a sign. Oh, yeah. You don't like my music? How is he? I love that song. MJ Daniel, we had an AM station in my hometown that played groups like Bread in the 70s, KUJ, 100,000 watts of light rock. Boy, the music has really brought people out here. You guys are music fans. Music fans. Kimchi says saw 38 special with Thompson twins who aren't around. Beck the suck. But they suck? I don't know. Aerosmith is awesome. I love Big Matt Cochran. Thanks for being here, Big Matt Cochran. By the way, I've never seen you in here before. Thank you so much for being in the chat. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share, and all that good stuff. Aerosmith is awesome. I love the 70s Aerosmith. You know, that's my favorite part of the era of Aerosmith. And they are awesome. No doubt about that. And No Doubt's good, too. You know, like my music, the 1980s were misogynistic and homophobic in general. Yeah. Hopefully we've learned a lot and grown since then. Nick Rich, I love jazz. It's in the background now. Well, there you go. Nick Rich is a jazz fan. 3 girls. Hey, anyone else at the first US US Festival? I believe I was at the second one. But the one I went to, I think was in 82. I always get the year mixed up. Was it 82 or 83? But it was the one where Van Halen was like the main headliners on the Rock Day. And I've told the story before how I snuck in with these other girls and with my cousin. I got separated from them. There was like literally like a million people up on the hillside there. And I saw this opening that went right to the front of the stage. This opening of like it opened up before me. And I had already lost the girl I was with and my cousin, but I was just like, fuck it, man. And I just made a beeline for that opening. And I landed myself center stage about probably kind of like, there weren't really rows of people because there was no seating, but it was kind of like say 10 rows of people off the stage, from the front stage. Because they had like a barrier, probably 10 or 15 feet kind of barrier where they just had some security guards and it was fenced off. And then there was sort of like this, like 10 rows of people. And I was right there and I was like in heaven. I'm like, and watching Van Halen like that. And it was just beautiful. It was awesome. I think that was the second year of US Festival. But I was there. I had a great time. And then we were there for the next day and we saw, because that was the Saturday day, I believe. And then the next day we actually had tickets for the Sunday day. And we were there all day and saw those great bands. I mean, U2 was playing. They were one of the afternoon bands. Berlin was there. Then later on it was like Stevie Nicks and David Bowie. It was a great fucking concert, man. Tim Nelson, Keith Richards is still kicking. He is, indeed, he is. Dana Darden, so glad to see all you fellow music lovers have loved this channel for a while and love the political views. Now combining music, I'm in heaven. Thank you guys. Well, thank you for being here and checking in and chiming in. It's great to have the participation. Mad Mac Flat as a Pancake was a great album. Minjay Daniel, just saw something funny on Facebook yesterday. A young woman had a pic of Robert Plant in the 70s saying, wow, hot. He responded, hey, and she shot him down. Too old, I guess. Funny. I'm not kind of confused on that whole thing, but okay, whatever. Tara Taylor, hey TJ, do you remember Dan Fogelberg? I do remember Dan Fogelberg. Sort of more of a easy listening rock kind of guy. Big Matt Cochran, Twisted Sister was awesome. Yeah, good band for sure. Kimchi never got into the hair bands. You don't like my music? Eric Clapton defended National Front, British Racist Political Party back in the late 70s. So he's been a douchebag for a long time, is what you're saying. Not just during COVID. I'm going to skip down a little bit, guys. I know I'm behind. Big Matt Cochran says, play I Love It, make music great again. Play I Love It, make music great again. Okay. MJ Daniel, another good one was Quiet Riot. Opening for Loverboy. I know it seems like it should be the other way around, huh? But Loverboy was huge. They were huge for a while there. Fancy, I like Prince. Prince was awesome. May he rest in peace. Fancy, I love NXS. Yeah, another. All these dead lead singers and dead is so sad. Terry Taylor says best time in history for rock. 60s, 70s, some 80s and 90s for grunge rock. I don't know what's going on with my watch. It keeps sort of like vibrating, and I look and there's like nothing going on. Dick Rich says, I enjoy live music, but huge crowds are annoying to me. Every concert I went to was someone else's idea. That could be an issue if you don't like crowds, that's for sure. Elvis Stube, Godsmack, yeah, they rock. They're hard. They're hard. MJ Daniels, 70s Aerosmith for sure saw them live and did a meet and greet before the show with pictures and autographs. Yeah, those dudes, Steven Tyler, Joe Perry, they're awesome. You don't like my music? The Clash played at the first S Festival as well. Terry Taylor loved Aerosmith, Van Halen, so many. Jupiter Judy's here. Hey, Jupiter Judy. Good to see Jupiter Judy. Thanks for joining us here in the Truckers Lounge. As we were reminiscing about all our favorite music. But now we're going to get back into politics, because William says at least Nixon had the decency to shut up and go away. Yeah, pretty much, for the most part. Big Mac Cochran says, that is awesome. I like Fleetwood Mac. I think we have that CD somewhere. Well, they've got quite a few CDs. But, they're really good. Fancy says the B-52s were badass. I have a wide range of likes. I like B-52s. Let's say for that time, I could like B-52s and the Cars and Van Halen and Led Zeppelin all at the same time, and rock out to all of those. I'm not just a one genre kind of guy, you know. Mad Max says got free in to see Genesis. Alice Cooper, Chicago. Yes, the arena was next to the stadium, and the cops at the concerts liked us soccer players. When we would leave the stadium, the cops let us in for free. That's a good perk. Right? A perk? It's a good perk. I've got a little hair or something. If you wonder why I'm doing this, it's just like, I don't know, hair all of a sudden is like in my eyes or something. Bid Macron, yeah, my microphone screwed that up. Damn microphones. Nick Rich, I saw Peter Frampton Come Alive tour, early 80s. That was a great album, that Peter Frampton Comes Alive. I love that album. I had that album. I don't have it anymore. I lost so much of my shit. MJ Daniel, I think it was from Twitter. The woman, maybe in her 20s, posted an old pic of Plant and said something like, where are the guys like this today? And he saw it, but used his current profile. Yeah, quite a contrast. I mean, we all age. We don't stay young and pretty forever. I can attest to that. Taylor, yes, me too, TJ. I don't know what we're yes, me too. See, when I read something and I forget what I said and all that kind of stuff. How is he? How many deadheads we have in here? I know we have at least one. I know of one that comes immediately to mind. Deadhead. So I know we have, like I said, at least one. Nick Rich says, a lot of old memories being generated. Thanks, guys. Yeah, that's the great thing about music, right? It's like a song can come on and it can almost like transport you right back to a memory from 40 years ago or something, you know? And it can almost make you feel like you're there again. It's kind of cool how music can really move us in so many ways, you know? Jupiter Judy, I was a deadhead in school. Well, you know what, Jupiter Judy, what they say, once a deadhead, always a deadhead. Kimchi, speak for yourself. I am still pretty because, well, yes, you are. Absolutely. Jolie, that's the one I was thinking of. Deadhead. Jolie. MJ Daniel says Monsters for Rock Tour '88 in Spokane, Washington. Kingdom Come, Doc and Metallica, Scorpions, Van Halen with Sammy, and it was Outside the Sun. I also saw the Monsters of Rock Tour at the LA Coliseum in Los Angeles, and it was fun. It was a good time. Terry Taylor, love all genres of rock music. Bicycle Mike 42 is here. Mike, good to see you. Did you hear about the deadhead that quit drugs? He said this music sucks. I did not hear about that. You don't like my music. Music is the language of the soul. Jupiter Dirty, so true. I guess that's puff, 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 pass. You took 3 puffs? Hey, don't bogart that joint, man. Kimchi, not Kim Tree. I don't know who Kim Tree is. Kimchi says, laughing out loud, Mike. Agreed. How is he? Music is one of the 4 universal forces of nature. Williams says Pet Sounds is awesome. Going back to the Beach Boys, right? Let's see. Jolie says at Bicycle Mike 42, the trick is not to stop using drugs. You don't like my music. Says if humans are ever discovered by aliens, we will be known as the musical species. Big Mac Cochran says Grateful Dead's awesome. It's making me more and more want to go see the Dead and Company. Plus, it's been getting great reviews. They're at the Sphere. It's been getting great reviews. People are saying it's a life-changing experience. So now I feel like I got to go. I got to go see him. I never really had a desire to see him until now. And now they're all dead. So now it's John Mayer and people. But, I mean, there's a few left, right? There's a couple left of the originals, and that's it. So that's another thing, man. Well, now's the time to see him before they're all gone. How is he? I play polka to mess with my kids. A 1, 9, no 2. Whatever, I don't know. Anyhow, you don't like my music. Fish sort of took over from the Grateful Dead. Yeah, and Fish was here. They were at the Sphere. They did 1 week and they did 3 shows. And I never had a desire to see Fish. But then I was hearing that the Fish show was awesome. And I'm like, I'm missing out. Bicycle Mike 42, I'm seeing Elvis Costello and Daryl Hall next Tuesday. I love me some Elvis Costello, especially, that the early stuff. He started branching off into like kind of jazz or whatever. I'm not really into that. But his early kind of, more alt rock, punk rock type era when he first came out. I don't know if you call it punk, but you know what I mean. I really like that. Daryl Hall is a great voice, great, that blue-eyed soul, all that kind of stuff. That's really good. But anyhow, Fish better than Grateful Dead fight me. You might have some issues with Jolie on that one. Mad Mac, hate to tell y'all, but of course I love the pipes, bagpipe music. Well, there's, it can have its place, It's good for funerals. I'm just saying. But anyhow, before I sign off, I gotta do this for Nick. Hello, everybody. Hey, I heard you guys were talking about music, and I just had to pipe in a little bit because I know music makes me feel good. I hope it makes you feel good, and I think it does. As I've seen the chat, you guys love the music. And I love the music. I got the music. I love the music. Yeah, purple beard guy here. I just want to say, music is a universal. It's universal. We all love the music. So keep it up, guys. Keep loving your music because it makes you feel good. It makes everyone feel good, right? Everybody. I think music is magic. It's magic. Uh-oh. Hey, even me, even old crusty tough cookie, even I love music. Of course, the music I love, I don't know if everyone else loves it or not, but you know, I'm more into, I don't know, the German scream rock music. I don't know, but whatever turns you on, whatever's your thing, just enjoy the music. And even an old tough cookie like me can, you know, sometimes get a little bit moved by the music. So whether you're some weird softy dude like the purple beard guy, or you're a tough old cookie like me, you know, we all love the music, right? Right? Am I right? I think I'm right. So those guys, even those guys have an opinion. You know, even Tough Cookie loves music. So. You know, I mean, Tough Cookie likes Motorhead. Probably, I would say probably so. Yeah. Rammstein. I was trying to come up with Rammstein, and not the Gumdrop Buttons. Fancy, are you coming back on later today? Yes, Fancy. Thanks for asking. And then we are over 2 hours, so I'm probably going to put an end to this monstrosity. But I want to thank everybody for being here. You guys were awesome. We got some new faces in here that I haven't seen before. New I guess they're faces. New screen names and stuff. And thanks for being here, guys. But I will be back. Today is Thursday, right? Am I correct? So as far as I know, do you guys know, is Hal coming on at 3 or at 4? He usually comes on at 4 on Thursdays. And I believe that's still the plan, right? So we'll do what I like to call the Hal Sparks pre-show hangout around 3 p.m. Pacific time. So adjust accordingly to your time zones. If I need to come on earlier because he starts earlier, then I'll come on earlier. I guess kind of play it by ear, but it should be, as far as I know, 3 p.m. Pacific time. And we'll hang out some more for a little bit, for like an hour, where we can kind of get, you know, hanging out and getting ready for Hal's show. You know? So I'll see you guys then. It's been a delight. I gotta say, this show has been a delight hanging out with you guys, talking music. We talked some politics, and then we finished it up with some music, and that's always a good thing. You know, it's like I say, and like people have said, it's the music is it's great. We all love our music, and that can be a uniting. It can kind of bring people together. I think it can kind of bring, I don't know, everyone together, because we all love music. Right, left, in between, right? All right, guys. Thanks for all the likes, the subscribes, the shares, the memberships, everything you guys did. Thank you so much for supporting the show. Just being here and participating, that helps support the show. We are up to, what are we at, 1,850 something? Let's get to 1,900 subscribers. The more the merrier, I always say. That's what I always say. But thank you guys so much for being here. I'll see you this afternoon at, as far as I know, 3 p.m. Pacific time. Hit the notification thing. Maybe that helps. Your little notification thing. But it should be 3 p.m. Pacific time, as far as I know. And we'll just chat for like an hour. Get ready for Hal. All right, guys. I'll see you then. And so in the meantime, enjoy this little ditty. This little ditty right here. I think, oh, you know what? I'm not sure if that was the right one. I think I may have just did the wrong one. Let me, I got to go back and make sure. Oh, wait, I think, yeah, because I did that. So I think this is it. All right, guys, enjoy this little ditty. And, oh my gosh. There we go. And I'll see you guys at 3 p.m. Pacific time. Thanks so much.
Well, it's time to say goodbye. Show has come to an end. But don't be sad, no, don't you cry. We're all gonna come back and meet again. We'll have have some fun times, hopefully nothing too bad. We might talk about war crimes, might talk about Baghdad. I doubt we'll talk about door chimes, but if we did, I'd be only too glad. So hasta la vista, baby. The show is over, but could I ask you maybe to take a shower? No, that's not what I meant, but I couldn't think of anything to rhyme with over. Now my whole rhyming scheme is all screwed up. Oh shit, I should have stuck to truck driving, who I tried to kid. At least when I was out there driving, I could handle a skid, but doing this live stream, baby, has been a real kid. So I hope to see y'all again right here on the Trucker John live stream. We're gonna do it again and again, right here in the Trucker John live stream. Yeah, the Trucker John live stream. We're gonna come back and do it all again. No, this ain't no dream. This is where we win, right here on the Trucker John live stream. No, this time to say goodbye. The show is coming in. Don't be sad, no, don't you cry. We're all gonna come back and meet again.
Well, it's time to say goodbye. The show has come to an end. Don't be sad, no, don't you cry. We're all gonna come back and meet again. We'll have some fun times, hopefully nothing too bad. We might talk about war crimes, might talk about Baghdad. I doubt we'll talk about door chimes, but if we did, I'd be only too glad. So hasta la vista, baby. The show is over, but could I ask you maybe to take a shower? No, that's not what I meant, but I couldn't think of anything to rhyme with over. Now my whole rhyming scheme is all screwed up. Oh shit, I should have stuck to truck driving. Who am I trying to kid? At least when I was out there driving, I could handle the skid. Doing this live stream, baby, it's been a real kid. So I hope to see y'all again, right here on the Trucker John live stream. We gonna do it again and again and again, right here in the Trucker John live stream. Yeah, the Trucker John live stream. We're gonna come back and do it all again. No, this ain't